talk a ton in society about time management. This book talks about time leadership,
Yeah.
right? It's just not managing time, it's leading time.
Right.
And to lead time, you really have to understand, I went through, for research for this book, I went through a ton of basically longitudinal timetables, meaning, how do people use their time when they're at work? And,
Yes.
And so I grafted a number of different studies and zeroed in on the fact that when you add up, like how much time do you spend on email, how much time do you spend on meetings, how much time do you spend on conflict within the workplace, and then other stuff being bathroom breaks and lunch and water cooler conversations. So when you add all that up in a typical day for a typical professional, you end up with about 19 minutes of unstructured time. But here's the challenge is those 19 minutes don't come in one single chunk.
No.
They come in 2 minutes here, 4 minutes there, and 6 minutes there. But to your point, it's not enough time to really do
anything.
Work.
It's not enough time to do anything, Ryan. I mean, I think people listening to this, when they hear that part, they're going to be like, yeah, that's me. I'm in meetings all day long.
Yeah.
I never have time to go to the bathroom and I always feel beholden to my calendar and to my email. And I just want to tell people turn off the email for a couple of hours. You're doing marketing. You're actually not saving a life,
So in that chapter, I talk about a concept called deep work day. And it's just that, to take a day off, whether it's once a week or a couple times a month, and no emails, no meetings, no interruptions. It's just you and your best thinking self for 8 hours. And if you think about it, and I've done this. I've done this with colleagues, and everyone thinks they can't do it. They're just like, it's not even possible. My schedule's already overbooked, and it would just be beyond difficult to do. What I've found is that when you create that opportunity, once people do it, they don't ever want to give it up.
Sure.
Because they realize it's actually a superpower. Because what happens is, we talk oftentimes about return on investment, ROI. This brings to mind the question of ROT, return on time, right? So if you think about your average workday, in the office, working, your typical routine, the ideas that you work with in a typical day are, I would call 1X ideas or 2X ideas, right? These are ideas that make the trains run on time, which is important for any organization.
Right.
But they're not breakthrough ideas. In a deep work day, again, 8 hours of you working outside of your normal context. So that may be at home, that may be at a co-working space, that may be at a coffee shop, but it's you with no meetings, no email, no interruptions. And if you can do that for big chunks of time, you start to unlock a strategic level of thinking and insight and action that can return you 8X, 10X ideas. And so if you compare, again, working in the office for 1 to 2X ideas versus a deep think day that can deliver 10X ideas, you realize one of those deep work days is worth 10 office days, right? And so as an organization, especially an organization like your all's that's made up of entrepreneurs,
right?
If you could create an environment where they're unlocking 10X ideas every month or even every week, the impact on the organization is going to be game changing, right?
Yeah.
And so it's really forcing people to think about, again, moving from time management to time leadership. And again, if you look at people who are doing this at a really high level in terms of master strategists, that's what they do. And there's some obvious high level examples of, Bill Gates used to take 2 weeks a year as a vacation for reading, right? They called it sort of his reading vacations. And that's all he would do. He would just read for 2 weeks a year. Barack Obama, tried to read, about 5 hours a week when he was president. Warren Buffett claims he spends about 80% of his time reading. So again, those are some of the most accomplished, busiest people of the modern era.
Sure.
If they can find time to read and again, get to that sort of strategic mindset, what's our excuse for the rest of us?
Right. Yeah. What are we doing?
Yeah.
Why am I wasting my time listening to Britney Spears on Audible? That's really the question that I'm actually wondering
There's
right now.
There's got to be a strategy there.
Thank you for listening. If you would like to rediscover your own story, please connect with us at any of the links below. My name is Jessie Heron. Thanks for taking a break with me.